Matthew chapter 5. Matthew 5, 6, and 7. You call it the Sermon on the Mount. Well, he could have done that all at one time, but I think the writer of Matthew has gathered all the teachings of Jesus all through his Gospels, pulled them all together, and put them there. One reason I say that is some of the same things that we read in Matthew 5, 6, and 7 also occur in other places in the Gospel. Jesus speaking to the crowds. This is a short one. He's saying to the crowds that come to hear him, you are the salt of the earth. But if salt has lost its taste or its saltiness, how shall its saltiness be restored? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. Of course, I remember as a youth in Pennsylvania, we always used salt, put it out on the steps and on the sidewalks and everywhere. It would melt the ice away, melt the snow away. But it wasn't salt that you would want to eat or put in your mouth. It was dirty, it was polluted, it was contaminated. But it was good to melt the ice, but not in your mouth. Two men are at heaven's gate. This is not original with me. You probably read it or heard it. The first man at that gate was a taxi cab driver. He is met by the keeper of the gate. He's given a silken robe and a golden scepter and invited in. Man number two, wouldn't you know? He's a preacher. Was a preacher. He gets there and the keeper of the gate gives him a cotton robe and a wooden staff. What's with this, he says, as any good preacher would do. He explained, why this? An old cotton robe and a wooden stick. The keeper of the gate smiled and said, well, when the taxi driver was driving, everybody prayed. But when you preached, everybody slept. That's the difference. We live our lives out and we wait for the keeper of the gate, and we will have what is ours. Salt of the earth, have you had it? Salt is composed of two elements, sodium and that's right. I just checking on your school teachers. Omar, thank you. Sodium and chloride. But either one of those by themselves will poison you, make you sick, go into convulsions, maybe coma, maybe death. But together, sodium chloride is salt. We love salt, and it's found just about everywhere. You can evaporate the waters from the oceans and you will have salt. You can dig into the depths of southern Louisiana and you will have salt. Salt is very common. It is everywhere. It is very important. Salt preserves decaying matter. Some years ago, in the first church I pastored, many years ago, we had commercial fishermen. They would catch the fish in Little River, and they would cut them up, and they would pack them in their pickup trucks and ice, and they'd salt them to keep them fresh as they went on their routes to sell peddling fish. That's what they did. Meat can be protected in pre-refrigeration bins with salt. It still can be. You can rub that meat and it will be good for months. Salt preserves, keeps it safe, keeps it from putrefying, keeps it from decay. And the world we live in is decaying. The world that we live in is putrefying. The world that we live in can be very awful. And if it were not for the salt of the earth, and that's you. Now this sermon, by the way, if you are not a believer of the Lord Jesus Christ, sit back, relax. It's not for you. This message is for you who claim to be Christian. You who believe you are Christian. You are the salt of the earth, and you keep this earth from decaying totally. We see the news and we get so depressed, we think everything's going to hell in a handbasket. But Christians, and there's enough Christians, some of them like almost secret Christians, but they're all through society. Their prayers and their lives keeps this world from absolutely decaying and going to nothing. So salt preserves, keeps it safe, keeps it from decay. Secondly, salt purifies, does it not? You have a wound, you can use salt water, or salt will help to heal that wound. And we as a church, we as Christian people, are to be healing agents in this society, and it's hard to be that. It's hard to be that. Sometimes the church seems so irrelevant. Has nothing to do with what's going on all around us. Sometimes we get depressed. We think no one cares. But there are believers of Christ all through society, in every church, in every climate, in every land, in every state. There are Christians, and their lives actually keep this world from absolutely being destroyed. Salt will purify. It helps to cleanse. It helps to make our nation strong. Preserves, purifies. But I don't know about you. I don't want to have a drab kind of life, dull, ho-hum, boring. A lot of people have that. They're sick of life. But you put salt in it, you season it, you flavor it with the things of God, the things of Christ, and it gives some zest, it gives some oomph, it gives some power, it gives some excitement in your life. If you're not excited as a Christian, and I don't mean just jumping up and down, whooping and hollering, or doing spiritual cartwheels, I'm talking about having a joy within that is exciting and is good, and it makes you feel good, and makes people around you feel good. That's the kind of salt that we need, that adds zest, and adds power, and adds excitement, joy, and happiness. You're one of those sad sack Christians. We don't need them over here. You're one of those sad sacks, always poo-pooing everything and down on everything, depressing. I don't want to be around you. Christ did not found a religion that was ho-hum. And your church life should not be just drab, sad, and ho-hum. It ought to be something you look forward to, you're excited about, you want to be involved, and you really get yourself into the Christian life. Preserves, purifies, and it adds the flavoring. But it also can create thirst. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can lead people to the waters of life, but you can't make them drink. So what can you do? What can you do? You can create with them a desire to really know Christ, to serve Him, and to be known by other people as a Christian. In your home and in my home, am I the kind of Christian that makes other people, makes my wife, makes your relatives, makes your children want to be Christian? Or are you just a dull kind of life where everything is bad? We bring the waters of life to people all the time when we read the Word. But when Christ comes into their life, it creates a thirst for the things of God. One of the things that bothers me, one of the many things that bothers me, but it really bothers me that people are bored with the Bible. They're bored with church. They yawn all the way through it. They don't really get into it and let it become a part of them and get exciting in their life. Something joyous and happy and